Okay, so his name was Satchel Rhinestone?
See a thug and see broke, yeah, I'm still bullshit. Need to sit down, take a two and two, my money till we get it. Paul Wall in that Cuba, was ain't talking. Money speak, all that bullshit, keep it. Run the side, run the side, run.
Thank you for calling Echo Park. This is Marla. How may I help you?
Hey, who am I talking to over there?
This is Marla.
Well, hey, Marla, this is Satchel Rhinestone.
Hi, how are you?
I'm all right, and how about yourself?
I'm sorry?
I'm all right. How about yourself?
I'm fine, thank you. How can I help you,
Well,
Satchel?
I'm actually pretty new to the neighborhood, and we're neighbors.
Are we?
Yes, ma'am. Well, probably I'm talking about the business address. I don't know your personal. But I was cruising on by, and it seems like you guys do some type of automobile delivery.
Right. Now, I'm in the call center. I'm not at the dealership. So,
Okay, but
you're
you're familiar.
Have a service or something?
Well, I mostly had to call in and check and see what you guys were really about.
Well, Echo Park is a very large auto discounter. Throughout, it's nationwide. And we have hub locations which have vehicles at them, and then we have delivery centers. And Austin is a delivery center, so people choose from the vehicles at the hub locations and have them shipped to the delivery centers.
Ah, well, what's the catch? What's the real situation over there?
As far as what?
As far as the carrot that they seem to be dangling in front of me, I'm wondering when they're going to pull out the whip, if you know what I mean.
I'm sorry, as far as the what they're doing in front of you?
I see that carrot dangling ahead of me, right? Getting a car delivered seems like a mighty fine deal. But I'm wondering when the other side of that coin, I've seen the head. I'm curious as to what the tails entails, if you will.
What it entails?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we do all of the numbers up front. If you have a trade, we're going to value that trade. If you need financing, we're going to get that for you and give you all the numbers. If you're just paying cash, we'll give you the drive-out numbers too.
Well, Marla, let me ask. You've heard the phrase,
Sure.
You can't have a delicious roast beef without taking care of a couple cows, right? We understand that, with light comes dark, a little yin, a little yang. So this sounds like a good deal. I'm just curious as to what the yang is, if you know what I mean.
Well, I guess the yang would be different for a lot of different people. What would be your yang?
Well, I don't like communists.
Communists? Okay. Satchel, did you look at our website and did you find a vehicle that you really liked?
Honestly, I was driving down the street. I saw this, and I said, I got to give them a call. I'm 2 blocks down from you, so I figured it'd make sense for me to reach out and see what you guys are dealing with.
Sure. That's what we're doing. What other questions can I answer for you?
Well, I'm curious. How long have you guys been in business?
Oh, well, we're Sonic Automotive, which is one of the 4 largest auto dealerships in the nation. So it's been for a very long time. I've been in the business for 22 years, and Sonic's been there longer than me.
Have you worked for Sonic that entire 22 years?
No.
Okay. Well, I was curious there. I guess I'm wondering, if you had to say your number one competition in the area, would you give it a name or would you call it a spirit?
I certainly would not call it a spirit. Is there something else I can help you with?
I feel like you've been very helpful so far. I think we got down to the bottom of it for the most part. I guess I kind of do want to circle back around and touch on that yang that you brought up.
And touch on what?
That yang that you brought up when I was talking about the yin and the yang example.
Oh, well, you brought up the yang. I just didn't know what your yang was.
Communism.
Yes, communism. Okay, was there anything else, Satchel, I can do for you?
I guess really I just want to make sure that you guys aren't in any way communistic and that the leadership there doesn't hold any communistic values. That's truly my concern.
I can tell you that no one I know in this company is a communist. Thank you very much, Satchel.
That's good to hear. Anytime, Marla. I'll circle back and we can be in touch in a few weeks. Hello?
Yes, I'm right here.
Ah, yes, I guess,
Hello?
is like a sales manager there, I suppose?
Okay, our sales manager's already left for the day. Is there someone else that can assist you?
I guess anyone on the sales floor, or maybe even a front desk person. I'm not sure who I'm talking to yet.
Okay, do you need new car sales or pre-owned sales?
Either, frankly.
Eli?
Hey, can you hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
Hey, this is Satchel Rhinestone. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm all right. I'll cut right to the choice. I was just on the phone with one of your competitors, less than a block from you. I think you know who I'm talking about, car delivery place.
A car delivery place?
They do deliveries for cars.
Less than a block from me.
Reckon about a block. But I was scheduling an appointment. We were going through the motions to take a look at a couple cars, and the woman I was on the phone with let it slip that she had. I mean, can I be blunt with you?
Yeah.
Communist sympathies. She started talking about communism and the Soviet Union, and I'm from a Polish family. I didn't even know what to say to that. And I wanted to give you guys a call, and frankly, I don't mind spending money. I need wheels. I need, me and my wife both need new cars. I'm not looking to spend money at some red diaper baby establishment, if that makes sense.
Red diaper babies?
Yeah, communists, bunch of whiny babies, respectfully. No disrespect, sir.
Oh, okay. So you said communist. Is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we don't even, for one, talk about politics whatsoever. We're here to just help you out with the cars. That's weird. I've never experienced that in my life.
Right out the gate, she starts talking about. I mean, she's using phrases I've never heard before. And I just had to ask her. I said, "What are you talking about?" And she said, "Do you know anything about communism?" And I said, "Well, I think I know enough. I think I could ask my grandfather what he thinks about communism, right? You know." And she just kept chit chatting on, just going off about, oh, whose history are you reading? Oh, what? Well, tell me about the schism. Schism between what? What are you talking about? I hung up the phone.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't mind if you are you a political guy? Have you voted before?
Yeah.
And you're allowed to. You're allowed to. There's nothing wrong with voting. But the second you get out of that little voting booth, I don't want to hear a peep out you. How does that sound?
Exactly, yeah.
So is there a political affiliation associated with this dealership?
No.
Okay, thank God. Okay, well, how late are y'all open till?
That just, till 7 o'clock.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell my wife, and first I'm going to double check with her and make sure that she's not too worked up from that last phone call. And if things are able to settle up, I might be seeing you less than a half hour. We'll find out.
Okay, yeah, do you know what you're looking for?
A car or two. Right now, I have a Lexus and a BMW, and they're both over 5 years old.
Okay. And do you, because the only issue, of course, like with what's going on right now, we only do have a few vehicles, and I wouldn't want you to come out here and us not have a vehicle. See, we have like a Yukon XL, which is like the big SUV. I don't know what your price range is.
Now I'm kind of wondering, the communists did have a whole lot of cheap cars. Maybe they were onto something. The lady I just got off the phone with.
I mean, it just depends on what price range you're looking at.
Well, can I call you back in like a half hour?
Yeah, just call back, ask for Eli.
Nut up or shut up. At Big Bob's Truck Nut Emporium.
Big Bob's
Big Bob's has all the nuts. With the largest truck nut selection in Texas, the Truck Nut State, and on the internet.
Look at those nuts.
Don't be a wimp and show them your nuts this summer.
I love a man with truck nuts.
All double axle nuts are 20% off for a limited time.
Truck nut.
Only at Big Bob's Truck Nut Emporium.
Big Bob's.
Good day here at Drop Time. This is Lynn. How can I help you?
Well, I'm hoping you can help me a little bit. You said your name was Lynn?
Yep, that's correct.
Well, this here is Eli. I work right up the street from you. I just got a call from one of your customers saying that Eli over at Mark Miller Buick is a communist. Saying right out the gate, saying that they didn't want to come by. I had an appointment booked with them online, and they said that they had found out that I personally was a communist from y'all over there at Drive Time. And I reckon there's some sort of miscommunication. I wanted to get right ahead of it, give you a call, introduce myself, and see what was going on.
I have no idea. Yeah, I mean, when did they say who they worked with or anything?
A fresh lead called him for the first time this morning, set up an appointment that was supposed to be about 15 minutes ago. I didn't get a response to my follow-up text, so I called him. Man is spitting venom. He's spitting venom at me. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on. He's yelling, hooting, hollering, all types of just anger. I figure I called him at a bad time. Must have been an accident or something. So I say what's going on. He starts saying, you effing, he's saying the F word. He's saying the F word to me. He's saying, you effing communist. You effing. And I thought he was just saying that as an insult. And then he told me he went by Drive Time and was telling him about the Yukon XL that they were going to be stopping by to take a look at tonight. And then someone over there said, yeah, Eli, I know him. He's a communist. And says that I'm a guy that goes to communist meetings and goes to communist rallies. And I got nothing but love in my heart. Nothing but love in my heart. But come on, right? I mean, if I said that about you, you'd have, you'd be upset too, right?
No, I got you 100%, but there has been no communication like that at all today. I don't know who would have said anything close to that, because all of us here today especially we're super chill. We're not going to talk bad about anybody.
I've been on the lot. This is my first month on a lot, okay? I'm new to this. I get you haze people. We got a little bit of friendly competition here. I would never call anyone on your lot a communist.
No, we would never do that.
Well, you're saying that, Lynn, and I wanted to try my hardest to believe you, and I'm not trying to disrespect you, especially since I don't know you yet, but a young man named Satchel Rhinestone gave me a call and said that he was down at your shop and that you had called me a communist on the lot. Not you personally. I want to be clear about that. But someone at the business there. And I'm not here to level accusations, and I'm sorry if I ruffled your feathers in any way, but I just want to get to the... What was that?
I said, no, you haven't. Well, okay, so his name was Satchel Rhinestone?
Satchel. That's what he was telling me. That was what his appointment first came in at. I confirmed when I talked to him on the phone.
We don't even have any customers with that name. Yeah, so I could let you talk to my GM if you would like to, but we definitely don't promote that kind of behavior at all.
You would never catch me here and catch me calling someone the C word.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm gonna give Satchel a call.
Came from.
Yeah, I'm going to give Satchel a call, and I'm going to settle this up with him. But I'm going to be honest with you, Lynn. I might stop by there just to introduce myself, shake a couple hands, and make sure that we're all gravy.
No, that's fine.
All right.
I'll come by.
I'll be seeing you.
Thank you for calling One Love. Can I help you?
Hey, sorry. I was just trying to give you all a call, and I got disconnected somehow.
Okay, what's up? What can I help you with?
Well, my name is Satchel Rhinestone. I'm a TikTok creator.
Uh-huh.
And I wanted to reach out to y'all based on a recommendation. You know Eli over at the Chrysler Dodge right up the way from y'all?
Yes, I do.
So Eli had told me that you guys give a discount to communists. Is that true?
No.
Yeah, he said you guys give a special communist discount. He said it was called like the red flag wave or something like that.
No, that's weird. No.
Okay. I had just met Eli briefly. I went over there to talk about that Yukon XL that he has, and I don't, no disrespect to the guy, but him and I were just chit chatting, and he said, "Oh, have you read Marx?" And I said, "No, never read Marx." And he got in my ear about it, and definitely got me curious. But then he told me I should head down to y'all's shop and get a little. He called it the red flag waived discount. You guys waive a certain percent.
No, we don't do anything like that.
Do you do any special type of deals with people that are very famous on TikTok? I have 300 million followers.
I mean, no, we haven't, but it hadn't been proposed to us, so.
Let me propose you something, a little something. What if I went in there and did a couple of my little dances?
And then, like, what, to bring business in?
Oh, yeah, put a couple of Rasta blunts in my hand, did a couple little dances to the tune of maybe Baby Got Back or something else that's trending. We throw it on TikTok, and I'm talking about, what, dozens of kids, dozens of people between 18 and 24 showing up at your door faster than you can drop a dime.
I don't know. I hadn't really thought about it, but
How's
it's
business?
something that I could consider, and I can run it past the owner in the morning.
How's business over there overall?
It's decent. I mean, with 2,800 dispensaries in a state that only has 4 million people, it's kind of hard to make, you know.
I was wondering about that market share. It makes it difficult, must to hire employees and still be able to invest in marketing, right?
Correct.
Well, I got a solution for you. I'm talking about a little TikTok dance. I'm talking about a king song size blunt, each one of my hands. I'm doing a little dance. And you know why you're giving me a discount? Because I'm a friend of Eli, and he got me lit up onto some communism. What do you say?
I mean, what's it going to cost us?
A couple gorilla sized blunts?
Well, so can you call me back tomorrow?
Absolutely. What time is our meeting?
Cisco will be here at noon.
I will give you a call at 12 sharp, and I look forward to working with you.
All right, yeah. My name is Donna, so just ask for me.
Donna, Satchel Rhinestone will be giving you a call tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
Hi, my name is Jessica with Post Oak Acura here in Tulsa with guest services. We just had a missed call. Were you looking for used cars, new cars, or parts or service?
Oh, Eli over at the Chrysler place, he told me that you guys were giving a discounts to communists and socialists, and I just wanted to call and see if that was real or if he was just trying to get in my head.
Okay, let me go ahead and transfer you to the operator, and they can actually get you with the manager. Give me just a moment, okay?
Oh, wow, okay.
Huh?
You think I should do like an Instagram fitness journey?
Are you going on a journey or?
No way of knowing. I feel like life's a journey in general, right?
Yeah.
But I like making Instagram, and it's like what JT eats, and I post everything I eat, take photos of myself shirtless every night, every morning, like flexing.
It's just it's clear, it's obvious, like there's no changes.
It's just my journey. I didn't say I had any specific goals. It's just my journey.
Yeah.
Some people are like, "What are you trying to do?" I'll say, I'm just trying to follow my journey. Frankly, that's about how far I've made it.
I'm just trying to figure out this crazy journey called life.
Hey, this is my fitness journey. My fitness journey called life. All right. Hey, we're all just bouncing around the stars. Am I right? A couple rocket ships.
I think it could be pretty funny if, like, one day you log everything you ate. It's like kale salad for breakfast, protein shake for lunch, and then for dinner it's like almond butter and toast. But then the next day it's like Chicago deep dish pizza for myself. It's like for lunch, like ice cream sundae because I'm a baddie. Like it's just so hot and cold every day, so no one really knows like what the fuck's going on.
You want to know my favorite little goofs to tell right now? When I go into a bar and I get like a rum and Diet Coke, and they say, "Oh, we don't have Diet Coke," I go, "Okay, it's not a crime to be a little bad yet, is it?" I say that every time. Oh, it's not a crime to be a little bad yet, is it? I think I'll do a little rum and Coke. Thank you. I'm doing my first Tulsa show in like a few days. First time I'm doing comedy in Tulsa in 4 days.
Where at?
I think the Whittier Bar. I have a poster for it. I'll look it up. I think it's the Whittier Bar. It's actually a place that I telemarketed to check out before I moved here. Yep, Whittier Bar Comedy Night, hosted by Evan Hughes. I actually went last week to check it out, not knowing it was what I was going to be on this week. I'm on it with the likes of Bo Orcutt. Awesome name. B-O, Bo Orcutt, O-R-C-U-T-T. That's a Hollywood name. Bo Orcutt.
Looks like they got a queer art market going on today.
Really?
Yeah, then karaoke on Monday. And you said it's Evan Hughes that's hosting?
Evan Hughes, I think he is. Oh, it's crazy. Look at this. He's like the golden boy of Tulsa comedy. He's on every comedy show. He runs every show. Really nice guy. Super chill guy. One of the chillest people I've met in Tulsa. Very sweet.
Looks like do you know that band The Well? They're from like San Marcos.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they're at the Whittier Bar November 2nd.
Do I gotta stop in?
Dude, you should reach out to them and be like, hey, you mind if I do a tight 5 to open up?
I'm gonna message the Well. Do we know any of those boys?
I don't think so.
I'm looking them up to see the Well. Let's see if they're friends of the pod. The Well is just okay. The Well band. How do you see a photo of everyone in that band? They're just so indie. Okay, we got a guy named Ian Graham. Not a friend of the pod. Enemy of the pod, Ian Graham. Enemy of the pod, Lisa Diane Atley. Enemy of the pod, Jason. Okay, Jason, I know. I worked at that place with him that I got fired for pretending to be Sandra Bullock's cousin. This guy worked there. He's tight.
Oh, sweet.
Friend of the pod, Jason. All right. And you know what? We're taking those two people off the enemy list because they're good with Jason.
Yeah. No, you should message Jason and be like, hey, it's JT Bullock.
It's JT Bullock. I wonder if Jason will remember me. I just remember a lot of people I work with because I'm a chit-chatty dude. I don't really work. I like to chit-chat and gossip. And Jason was chill. And here's the thing. When I got fired from that place, that guy, Bart, oops, accidentally like one of his really old photos. Oh, well. That guy, Bart, that fired me, when he fired me, he didn't actually fire me. I went in and I said, hey, it looks like I'm not on the schedule for next week, but I have one more day on this week. And he didn't stand up or look at me or anything. And I was like, hey, it looks like I'm fired, man. Nothing. Did I tell you this?
Yeah, you mentioned you went in, you like confronted him about it, and you're like, so I'm fired, and he just kept saying nothing, but then he like got in your face and was yelling at you out the door.
I said, go fuck yourself. And then after I get behind the counter, he finally stands up. He's like, what'd you say? And I was like, oh, dude, now? Like, I said, go fuck yourself, dude. What a tool. Anyways, he got caught on the clock gambling sports online using company time and company like computer and stuff. So he ended up fucking himself. And Jason told me that story after I ran into him. He was like, hey, do you remember how you told Bart to go fuck himself? I'm like, yeah, I actually stood across the alley and made threatening remarks to him for months. He's like, what? And I was like, nothing. And he's like, do you remember? He's like, because he fucked himself. I was like, that's awesome. So friends of the pod, The Well, will be performing at, what are they called? The Whittier Bar and Grill? Just the Whittier Bar.
Whittier Bar, November 2nd. You know, you mentioned part of the whole moving situation is there's like the community inside Tulsa of all the remote workers.
Yeah.
Have some potlucks or like bake sales. Have you done any of those yet?
I went to one. It was a bunch of fucking nerds. No, okay, they were tight. I went to one, and it was like, exactly what you'd expect. Tech people from all over the nation. No, like, psycho weirdos. Everyone seemed like normal and chill. Actually, went to the rooftop bar. This is, I promise to God, swear, true on my life, young Robert. Little baby boy Robert, sweet baby Bobby out of Nashville, Tennessee. I'm standing by the bar, doing my thing, right? You know how I post up, do my thing, try to do like a security assessment of the entire room. A young man walks up to me, and I knew he was walking up to me because I had already kind of given the area an assessment, and I knew this guy, okay, he's potentially going to be a walk-up. Walks up to me, and he says, hey, do you have a medium-sized following on TikTok? And I said, well, depends. Do you think I'm one of the million guys that looks like me that's like recruiting for white nationalist stuff? Because that is not me. And he said, no, you are the guy that made a fake homeschool to have pizzas for free for an entire summer. And I said, yeah, I am, baby. I'm the free pizza boy from Texas, baby. And he said, yeah, I follow you online. And I said, I love to hear that. Love it. I can't believe you're a Tulsa Remote character just like myself. And he goes, yeah. And he goes, sorry for saying medium-sized following. I was like, no, 15,000 is not a lot online. If that was one show, we'd be like, wow, 15,000 people. But that's online. Competition with billions of people. I'm not doing very good. So 15,000, even calling that a small to medium-sized following is pretty friendly on his end. Added me on Instagram the next day, and he had a very pregnant wife when I met him. And I messaged him, I'm looking for Tulsa friends. And I said, nice to meet you, man. And he goes, great. Do you remember how there was a baby in my wife's stomach when we talked? There isn't anymore. And I was like, what an ominous. I was like, I really hope that's like good news. And, it was nice to meet you. He's like, yes, it is. I was like, okay, cool. Because the way you phrased that made me say, oh my God, I'm so sorry to hear whatever happened. Unless it was her choice. This is are we a pro-choice podcast, Robert?
We are pro-choice and pro-life here. Okay.
Okay.
We cater to both parties. Whichever one will pay us first, really.
If I'm personally, I'll say, yeah, I'm pro-choice. If you paid me to make this a pro-life podcast, you bet that little baby killer's wallet I would. I bet. I'd go full. I'd lean in, baby. I'm buyable. Our Robert and I's goal as a podcast is to get enough for China to have us pay us to shill for them or something, or an evil chemical company. I mean, a potentially really good and misunderstood chemical company. You notice how oil executives are starting podcasts now. You see this where there's one where it's like the CEO of Chevron has one or some shit like that, and then Microsoft, the guy from Microsoft has one called like weapons and tools. I hear ads for it on like news podcast.
I'm not seeing anything with
Tools and Weapon with Brad Smith, Microsoft president and vice chair. He thinks that he's going to try to chit-chat me into why, because you know how IBM worked for the Nazis and Microsoft is doing the same thing with like fascist countries all over the fucking world.
Mhm.
Like, he's the same boy. And instead of being like, yeah, dude, we sell to everybody, okay? We are a business. We are the bad guys and the good guys at the same time. We don't give a shit. He is like being like, oh, we're actually really smart and neutral, and doing a podcast about it. A knife isn't objectively bad. A knife is a tool. Yeah, except you made a knife that recognizes people's face when they walk into Walmart, you fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
Technically not a bad thing. Yes, I can see your DNA from the way you sneeze thanks to this tech AI that I put into a camera.
Thankfully for our new AI technology, we can actually see your face from the back of your skull with our cameras. We know where you are at all times.
I watched a video of this young man looking dude, very young man looking dude, who talked about how he made this program that searches all of the internet for every single photo of you ever and can find it on the deepest depths of the internet and the Wayback Machine and shit like that.
Sounds like he has
has a what?
Sounds like he has a blood boy. He's young looking and doing shit like that.
Has a blood boy?
Yeah. You ever heard those the executives that they get those young virile men and they do the blood transfusions to try and stay young?
Dude, heavy uncle talking point. Yes. Yes. I got an uncle's brain. I know exactly what you're talking. When you said blood boy, I was like, blood boy. He doesn't mean some sort of young man whose blood he drains into his own blood in order to gather his youth, does he? Yes, Robert's leaning into the uncle lifestyle. You know exactly. Yeah. Okay, it's what the elites and the lizards do, right?
Yeah, it's I mean that even the show Silicon Valley parodied it.
It's a real thing too.
Yeah.
That's what's great. It sounds like something I would just say talking to a dude on the bus or the type of uncle that won't get on Facebook but it's oh no, that's real. People really do that blood thing.
Was it God, was it Dr. Phil's son that had the rock band or
I got way too into that bunny rabbit hole. Yeah, absolutely. I think it was called 100 Handed. And that was the same thing where his dad bought him that band. I think I did not get to see them at Bonnaroo.
They were playing Bonnaroo?
Yeah. Oh, dude, they clearly got bought to be put on Bonnaroo. Their music would be played in theaters in between. That was the licensing deal they got was for their songs to be played in theaters in between shows. And their problem with their branding is it was really sexual, but looked like it was for kids. And so it's okay, dude, is this for young adults or kids? Because it's way too sexual to sell to kids, you weirdo.
Did you read that article I sent you last night? Or did you just see the photo?
I don't remember. I was a little loose last night. I'd have to take a look.
It was that one about it was that girl I went to high school with.
Yeah! Oh, I only looked at photos, dude. I did not read a single word of that. Too old. Yeah, dude, I did not even scroll down. I was like, this looks like a sad and interesting story, and I could not take my eyes off this story. Yeah, dude. Did you read that? I didn't even know there was words underneath it. I was like, wow, something's going on here. I just now opened the art. Miami Herald. Yeah. I honestly, I gotta find this girl and tell her, say, hey, just don't do that again, you know?
Don't do that. You're a bad girl.
Yeah, you're bad. You are, yeah. Really. You know what? I'm subscribing to her OF just to make a point. In fact, put her OF in this channel. Put her OF in the show description, so everyone can go and say, hey, hey, no, you know.
Okay.
Did you know her in real life?
Yeah, she went to my high school up until I think like senior year when she dropped out to like she transferred to like an acting school. But yeah, it was I'm pretty sure anyone who sees her photo and like reads her story, it's like, oh, she was probably like super privileged, has like rich parents, and basically just from being in that position was able to start a modeling career, tried acting. You know, I think her biggest credit was she was in a G-Eazy music video, which I think for acting, that's not.
I think we can admit that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool.
For
it's like
G-Eazy to meet this. Oh, G-Eazy? I'm sorry. For the past 2 minutes, it's on site, essentially. Anytime, any place, just you let me know. We'll make it happen, Mr. Easy.
No,
so she was in G-Eazy's music video.
Yeah, she was in one of those, lived out in LA for a while, got a couple million followers on Instagram. I guess maybe in the past year, whenever OnlyFans blew up, she was like, you know what, I can do this too. She murdered her boyfriend, which, let's see.
It said in the article that she stabbed him.
So Courtney Clooney, aka Courtney Taylor, that was her celebrity name, Courtney Taylor, which really fucking original. She was charged with second-degree murder with a deadly weapon in the killing of Christian Toby Abumseli. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Back in April of this year. She's currently being held at the Turner Guilford Night Correctional Center in Florida. Yeah, so Clooney first claimed that she threw the knife at Toby from 10 feet away, but a graphic description from the medical examiner's office revealed that he actually suffered from a knife wound that was 3 inches deep in his chest. And the examiner said that was caused by forceful pressure. So yeah, she's like straight up stabbed him.
And she was trying to say that it was at what at first?
She was trying to say it was like self-defense, that he was hitting her and she threw a kitchen knife at him and it just happened to hit him, you know, right in the chest and basically kill him.
Mm-hmm.
But medical examiner, I think they do a pretty good job of actually being like, no, this is actually what happened.
Unless they work for the Clintons, sure.
Yeah. Unless it was during the Clinton administration.
Yeah. Medical examiner takes a look at fucking Gary Webb with 2 bullet holes in the back of his head, and he's like, yeah, looks like a suicide to me. Medical examiners seem like a fake job that was made up by people that want to hide murders. Yeah, pretty dumb take after I said the whole sentence out loud, but I stand by it. I didn't know where it was going when I first started saying that sentence. Fuck it, dude. Medical examiners are fuck, ACAB for medical examiners, so it's like AMEAB. Yeah. AMAB, ACAB, and AMAB. That's the dude. We've developed 2 political stances on this show today. I love it.
We're getting pretty hot here, you know.
As a political organization, we got to take stances like that.
Yeah.
The Fart Locker Party.
But anyways, so yeah, obviously the medical examiner is calling bullshit. Toby's family is calling bullshit on it, and so this happens back in like April of this year. And when the cops first get on the scene, they basically believe her story and say, okay, well, you did it in self-defense. We'll let you go. You know, it was an accidental death.
Was her boyfriend black?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I didn't know that when I was making all the jokes about how banging she was. I knew it. Okay, yeah, for sure. Okay, this is she hate crimed him and she got away with it.
Well, yeah, and so Toby's family was like, no, like she's getting away with it because she's white and she's privileged, and our son was black. Finally, in like August, No, she's being charged with second-degree murder. They find her in Hawaii, of all places, and she claimed that she was there for treatment with PTSD and substance abuse. I think she was hiding out there like a bad girl, you know? I think she was just out there just like, maybe if I get far away enough, you know, I can let the heat die down, but she didn't understand you got to go international to do that.
Gotta go international. God, was this your first hate crime that you've committed? What was her name? Courtney?
Yeah.
God, I didn't forget her name. I have her number. I have her photo still.
Yeah, you saw photos up of her.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I'm mad at her, but we're upset with her, but people make mistakes.
Yeah, this
She's
one
only
didn't sound like
human.
a mistake, though.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't think this is the mistake. I think, this was an intentional bad thing that she did. Again, I'm not defending what she did here. It sounds like she committed a hate crime, right?
I think depending on what comes out at, finally in the trial, could be a hate crime, just like straight up.
Wow. I hate that she did it. I wish she didn't.
All those poor OnlyFans account subscribers, they're not going to get content probably for ever.
Is her account still up?
You know what? Let's just go ahead and check.
She needs to keep it up so she can run a little business while she's in prison. Like the dudes that mined bitcoins while they were in there.
I feel like though with OnlyFans, let's see. Oh, it says sorry, this page is not available. Yeah.
Circling the wagons and licking the wounds, if you will.
Do you still have a Facebook?
I do, but I don't log into it. I only use it for Marketplace and messages.
Okay. Because like I'll check Facebook maybe like once a week or every other week just to kind of see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And finding this article about this girl I used to go to high school with, that's kind of like the reason why I still check it like semi-regularly. Because like I still got a lot of friends from high school and like even middle school days that, they're still on it pretty regularly, and like that's where they mostly post. It was my buddy Alex. He posted that article just being like, can't believe I went to school with her and like this is where she ended up. Is like, damn, small world.
The other connection this podcast has to the high media true crime world.
Oh yeah.
Mac Miller?
Yeah.
The guy that sold him the pills that killed him, I went to a very, very, very small private school with him for 2 years.
Was that the like RNC feeder school you told us about?
So that was in junior high. I got kicked out of that place for my radical ideas. And then I was in freshman and sophomore year at essentially if you go to continuation school and get kicked out of continuation school, you have to go to like a private school in California. And it's like, okay. It was mostly for kids that did that and for like homeschool weirdos like me. But Cameron is one of the kids that got kicked out of public school and then got kicked out of continuation school. And we got along great. We had a little song. He was hilarious. He was definitely a good friend of mine while we were in high school. And then he went to rehab, one of those weird rehabs that they torture you in the woods, broke out, escaped home. We met up. His dad then called me a few weeks later because he thought that I was a girl and that I was like a girl that he was in love with and that he had ran away with. And I was like, oh no, dude, we just met up at Club Retro. He disappears for a bit, goes back in with like juvenile stuff, comes out full on pre-SoundCloud type of white rapper, like the more Kevin Federline years of white rappers, and goes up to my friend Julie Lydell and says, hey, listen here, Julie, I've learned how to get money, I've learned how to get gold, and I've learned how to get some diamonds, but I ain't never had my jewels. And then puts his arm around her. And I was like, that is the coolest fucking thing on earth. Then he gets super ripped and gets his whole body tattooed and geometric stuff. Gets really into drugs, hits my sister up on Facebook Messenger, and she's like, no, you do your thing. Got his throat tattooed, and then killed Mac Miller. Sold him bad drugs. Not on purpose, obviously. I mean, there's a lot of drug dealers are just as guilty as he is. But, he wasn't saying, hey, I want to kill me some Mac Miller, right? He's just a drug dealer that got bad drugs. Is he guilty? I think what he did was wrong, But hey, I'm just talking about the girl that commits the hate crime. People are people, right? She messed up, he messed up. Now someone's dead.
So your stance on drug dealers selling fentanyl laced coke or just pure fentanyl to someone,
dude,
or
I have the worst opinion on that. I don't mind. Like, I think, small time drug dealers are just like normal dudes, right? Normal men and women. Bigger time drug dealers, I'm like, all right, you seem kind of lame, but I think you're just trying to get that money. But then, like, cartel and like big smugglers, I'm like, oh, we need to fucking get them. You know what I mean? All those people that own those factories where they're like stamping pills overseas to like sell as like fake fentanyl, I'm like, we should just bomb those places. We should blow up those factories. And I know that sounds horrible. Maybe it is, but it's just I told you I have a bad opinion on that. It's not a good thought out opinion. We're going to war, but only against cartels. I'd be like, sign me up, baby. Same if we were going to war with England, though. So I guess I'm pretty ready to go to war with pretty much anything I don't like, huh?
Yeah, sounds like you're horny for war.
I'm not. So if you told me to go to war with ISIS, I'd say pick your bet. No, I'm kidding. Let's go to war with ISIS, Robert. Who's fighting ISIS right now? The Taliban?
Well, ISIS is an offshoot of Taliban, right?
No. ISIS. I know. Taliban is called like the students or something, and it was a response. I mean, it is very like American influence, not as American influence as like a lot of other fucking like Mujahideen movements or whatever. But ISIS, I think it's a split off from Al Qaeda. But I mean, Al Qaeda wasn't really a thing until we made it a thing. No one called themselves Al Qaeda until we called them Al Qaeda. It was a really loose group of people, and then we gave it a name. And then ISIS comes from, I mean, essentially, an Al Qaeda outfit claiming the right to a caliphate in a certain area and expanding.
Yeah, I think that's where
But Taliban was a response to the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. And the Taliban just means students, and it was Muslim students that were just trying to like partake in guerrilla warfare. They got a little more funding than some other people because they weren't Marxists and they were pretty easy to be right wing. And a lot of them weren't like hard right wing. I mean, they were hard religious people, right? But that in turn,
you mean like Rambo 4?
Yeah.
You mean extra funding from the CIA and
yeah. They get a little love from the boys in the Pentagon. Yeah, good thing we're not missing $100 trillion or anything. Something bad might happen to this country.
Swerve, the rims is glistening. They got see the wood cause the top is missing. I sleep on dreams cause it's paper I'm chasing. My roots come from Texas, this inflation. On the side, on the side, one the side, on the side, on the side, on the side, one the side.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna take Big Randy on a walk.